Alright, right now I'm gonna just do a quick discussion about what would be the top fruits in terms of true, deep, intracell hydration. You might have that question. Now, if you compare different fruits and what they provide to the table, most of them provide quite a considerable amount of antioxidants or vitamins or mineral or combination of all the above. Now, if you're looking solely in terms of the highest level of hydration, you need to focus on the H3O2 compound gel-like water. True water. Besides spring water and possibly distilled water, this structured water is the true hydration factor that can, could, and should be implemented into diets, right? Because have you ever been to those, I'm not sure, certain hotel or restaurant, they have water dispenser with the strawberries or with cucumber? That is actually a very good idea, because albeit that water may be tap fluoridated water possibly, but if you do it with spring water, let's say, and you add some berries, that increases the level of hydration and it infuses with the flavor too. Yummy, right? Most of the time, most people would agree that strawberry or whatnot would be tasty in the water. Or another alternative to that is, guess what? When you go to the palm trees, what is up on the palm tree? You use a machete, or you get it packed up already nowadays, because right, there's these amenities in the system that give you, unfortunately yet fortunately, it's kind of like a Stockholm syndrome type of relationship. But you see the coconut water, usually sweet, pretty sweet sometimes actually, and has even good bacteria actually a part of it, electrolytes, and definitely a good source of the H3O2. Or if you like any type of melons are some of the highest in terms of, well, hydration, and they will literally digest in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And besides that, we also have cucumbers. Well, cucumber is actually a fruit, melon. And then even apples. Surprisingly, apples is actually very high up there in percentage, right? And berries, such as strawberries, about 96% it's structured water. And besides that, you also have peaches are up there, pears and grapes. These are among the highest. I mean, without even being told, okay, there's water in this, you taste it and say, okay, it's like liquidy, very soupy or gel-like or jelly. And how could we miss one of the best? Pitahaya, also known as dragon fruit, draconian, right? Dragon fruit. You have the red version, which is not as sweet, and the yellow version, which is a lot more sweet and slightly tart in taste. Texture is the same, kind of a gum or gel-like, but it's easily malleable, and it is very high in hydration, extremely. If you have it in the morning, it will revitalize you. And it also has seeds in it that once you crush it with your teeth, it gives a smooth gel laxative effect through your digestion. So it's great for helping and assisting in the process of digestion. So 9.9 times out of 10, these fruits, actually no, 10 out of 10 of the times, these fruits, when they provide the structured water, they provide a multitude of other benefits along with it. So it's not just the hydration. You can tick the boxes on many other things along with it, such as your mineral intake or your vitamin intake, right? I mean, especially with coconut water, it can be very high in magnesium, like very high in magnesium. And a lot of people, it's actually known that one of the one of the most considerably high in deficiency is magnesium is included as a very typical deficiency. And there are many general studies on that, but it's become a general fact that magnesium is a general deficiency for most people, including as well as vitamin D and others. But I would say there are several different forms of magnesium, such as magnesium citrate, magnesium oxide, and you can just it will give you a general dosage, you can call it, of the magnesium. But there's always the intricacies and different aspects of what you need to gauge, or what you need, what you don't. It is honestly a mess ultimately of just the tracking each macro meals and the macronutrients and the micronutrients. It is definitely a hassle, admittedly, and some people go overboard or even dogmatic, or even whatever you want to refer to it as, in terms of their approach and methodology to getting the sufficient amount of minerals or nutrients, or whichever form of replenishment or vitalization that the body requires at the moment, right? But we were discussing the coconut water. It is a great option. The melons, berries, essentially most fruits that would not contain a high fat level, right? Because the coconut meat itself would be fat base, would be a lipid, right, for your liver. Or nuts, because yes, walnut is actually technically considered a fruit, surprisingly, and avocados and bananas, right? Because the glycogen level of such as bananas is higher, but of course it provides you with the amazing potassium and whatnot. But of course, it's not something that will hydrate you. Don't get out of more and say, oh, banana gonna give you the hydration, bananas. No, right? So not all fruits, but generally most fruits have a high level of water, structured water. So these are just a few examples of where you can go from in the starting point of just deciding, okay, how can I implement this, or how can I implement that into the diet, no matter what diet you even have. At first I wanted to enforce frugivore, and I will generally only talk about that, actually, in all honesty. But free will is in place if you want to eat meat, even, which I strongly do not suggest meat. I strongly do not suggest dairy either. But right, people have their opinions, and people have their lifestyles that they follow, and some may just be adamant on it. I will make actually a video eventually discussing the inherent harm and flaws to consuming animal products, but I won't do it in a bashing, shameful sort of way in terms of delivery. But anyways, the discussion for today was just, there is a difference between regular water and structured water, and obviously in modern day with municipal or tap water, you are going to have contamination of many sorts, such as chlorine, fluoride, lead, other heavy metals, microplastics. And on top of that, the whole fear-mongering psyop tactic of water being in scarcity is a complete myth once you learn the concept of primary water that replenishes itself through the earth. So even if human race became extinct, water would still replenish itself on this planet. Literally. So that is another thing to keep in mind. Water shortage is non-existent. That is a fear-mongering tactic of its own, right? And if you like to drink spring water, like Evian or whatnot, be sure to try to avoid plastic bottles, because massive microplastic leaching and all the there is a chart that you can see that says know your plastics. I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now. Know your plastics. There's a multitude. It's not just It's an umbrella term when you say plastic, so it's definitely something to be wary of. I would suggest stick to glass as much as you can, glassware, right? Or type of recycled paper. Like there's a brand called Flow, which I would say provides the best spring water you can find, because all the other ones that are so-called alkaline are not genuinely alkaline. They actually acidify immediately, and they're not truly alkaline. They're synthesized to become alkaline. And there's more information you can learn about this, and the minerals are fortified and whatnot. It's not considered alkaline, and it's definitely not spring water either. Definitely not natural spring water. So this is just a discussion on water, but more specifically fruits being the giver of true hydration. Just remember that fruits are your best friend. Thank you, everyone. This is Medipeakdp. I will see you in the void, in the infinite void. Goodbye.